Bel Aire consistently shows up as one of the best suburbs around the Wichita area, but is it actually a good place to live? It's close to downtown, homes are still decently priced, and families seem to love it there. But when you dig a little bit deeper, there's some stuff you might want to know before you make the decision to live there. Like why there's still no grocery store in the town, or how school boundaries can get kind of weird. In this video, we are taking a full tour of Bel Aire, what it's really like to live here, what's changing, and whether it's the right fit for your family. So let's get into it. Hey, real quick, if we haven't met yet, my name is Claussen. I'm a local real estate agent here in Wichita, and I help families buy, sell, and build homes all around the metro area, and especially in suburbs like Bel Aire. And this channel is all about helping you get to know Wichita and the surrounding areas. So with that said, let's jump into the video. All right, first let's zoom out and get the big picture on Bel Aire. This suburb started as a small rural spot northeast of Wichita, but today it's one of the fastest growing communities in the area with over 10,000 people and counting. It's projected to reach over 11,000 residents in 2025 alone, growing at more than 8% a year since 2022. In Bel Aire, you've got direct access to K96 and I-135, making it super convenient if you work in the city. Bel Aire became its own city in 1980 after locals pushed back on being annexed by Wichita. That move gave the community more control over growth, zoning, and future development. And even though it's independent, it still shares the Wichita School District, which makes for some unique zoning situations we'll talk about here in a bit. You'll find a mix of newer developments with modern homes and more established neighborhoods with mature trees and older charm. And if you want a deeper dive into how Bel Aire stacks up against other local suburbs, I put together a free in-depth Wichita community guide. It covers all of the important information for each of Wichita's major suburbs, like school ratings, housing prices, local attractions and events, and just what makes each community special. And you can grab it for free. You can find a link in the video description below. Okay, let's move on to talking about Bel Aire's location, which might be one of its most important factors. It gives you that quiet suburban feel without making you feel isolated. You're about 15 to 20 minutes from downtown Wichita, and you've got easy access to both K96 and I-135. That means you're not just stuck on slow surface streets just to get where you're trying to go. And compared to suburbs like Andover or Mays, you'll often save 7 to 10 minutes on your commute. Shopping areas like Bradley Fair and Towney Square are about 10 minutes away, and major employers like Koch Industries, Textron Aviation, and Wichita State University are all within a 7 to 12 minute drive. And there's almost no traffic inside Bel Aire itself, which is kind of refreshing, and nothing in Wichita, whether it's a wind surge game, the airport, or the zoo, is more than like a 20 to 25 minute drive from your front door. So if commute times matter to you, Bel Aire is an excellent option. And hey, if you are enjoying this video so far, would you please hit the like button and consider subscribing? I post weekly videos all about the Wichita community, real estate tips, and fun local spots that most people don't know about. I also send out a weekly newsletter covering all of the local events happening each weekend and fun family-friendly things to do around town. Thousands of Wichita families already read it every week, and if you want in, you can sign up in the link below. Okay. Let's talk schools and family life in Bel Aire, because for most people, this is going to be a deal breaker. Bel Aire is technically part of the Wichita School District, but some of the schools that serve this area are actually some of the highest rated in the region. The tricky part here, though, is that schooling zoning here isn't always obvious, and some of the schools have Wichita mailing addresses even though they serve Bel Aire families. So if you're buying a home, you need to double check and make sure which school it's actually zoned for. Northeast Magnet High School is located right in Bel Aire and ranks among the top high schools in Kansas. They offer special programs in science, law, and visual arts, and they're known for strong academics and college prep. Circle Greenwich Elementary is also nearby and consistently tests above state averages in reading and math. The student-to-teacher ratio is about 17 to 1, which is better than many other suburban schools in the area. And for a city of its size, Bel Aire has a lot to offer families. You've got 5 public parks, a central park with sports fields, walking trails, and playgrounds, and there are year-round youth sports leagues for soccer, baseball, and basketball. They also offer senior programs like fitness classes and social events. Plus, the community throws events like a spring festival and fall festival with food trucks, hay rides, and other kid-friendly activities. So Bel Aire is a really strong option if you're raising a family. And now let's talk about what day-to-day life looks like living here, and this is probably where Bel Aire falls short. There's not a lot in town in terms of amenities, like there's no grocery store, no movie theater, no shopping mall, and just a handful of small businesses, gas stations, and some food spots. For most of your errands, dining, or entertainment, you'll likely head into East Wichita, but the good news is it's not a long drive. Grocery stores are about 7 minutes away. Movie theaters and nice restaurants are more like 10 to 15 minutes, just depending on where you go. And when it comes to jobs, over 90% of Bel Air residents work outside city limits. But again, the commute isn't that bad. Coke, WSU, Textron, Spirit Aerosystems, they're all within about 10 to 20 minutes. Bel Air's overall average commute time is just under 19 minutes, which is actually shorter than Derby, Mays, or Andover. So yes, you'll trade convenience for quiet, but it's not a huge sacrifice, especially if you're working in Wichita anyway. But what's being done about the lack of amenities? Well, Bel Air actually has some big plans in the works. Amazon just opened a last mile delivery station, which brought in over 100 new jobs and is helping attract more businesses to the Sunflower Commerce Park area. The city is investing in public spaces too, like the Eagle Lake Park, which is getting a $385,000 upgrade with a new playground, shaded areas, and better parking. New housing developments like Skyview at Block 49 and The Landing are adding more modern homes with community trails, pools, and green spaces. And with population growth expected to hit 13,000 by 2030, there's a strong chance more retail and commercial development will follow. And Bel Air has a comprehensive plan that actually sets aside 3 designated areas for future business growth. And the city is offering incentives to bring restaurants, shops, and other services the community's been missing. So the momentum is there, and the next few years could bring big changes. Okay, now let's talk about housing. The median home price in Bel Air is around $270,000. That's a little higher than the Kansas average, but still very reasonable when you compare it to other Wichita suburbs. It's more affordable than Andover, where prices are typically over $320,000, and just slightly higher than Derby, where prices are typically around the $265,000 mark. Most of the starter homes in Bel Air are around 1,500 square feet with 3 beds, 2 baths, and they're gonna run between $240,000 to $260,000. The mid-range homes are going to be closer to $300,000 to $350,000, and for a larger custom home, it's going to be about $450,000 or more. A lot of homes in Bel Air were built after the year 2000, which means you're getting more modern layouts, newer systems, and typically fewer surprises during inspections. Appreciation here has also been pretty solid. You can expect about 3.7% annually. Homes in Bel Air also tend to sell closer to their asking price and spend fewer days on the market than homes in the broader Wichita area. New construction is adding a lot more options as well, with homes in Skyview and The Landing starting in the low 300,000s and coming with perks like community trails and shared amenities. The average household income in Bel Air is over $93,000, which gives the area a healthy price to income ratio of around 3 to 1. Property taxes are roughly 1.6% of the home's value, which means you're looking at about $4,000 a year on a medium priced home. All in all, Bel Air offers newer homes, strong schools, and solid long-term value. So, is Bel Air really the #1 suburb in Wichita? That really depends on what you're looking for. It's got a great location, good schools, and a quiet neighborhood vibe, and strong growth potential. But there are trade-offs like fewer in-town amenities and a smaller job market. No suburb checks every box, but if your top priorities are school, safety, modern homes, and being closer to the city, Bel Air makes a pretty strong case. So if this helped you get a better feel for Bel Air, be sure to check out my other neighborhood videos where I break down more suburbs around Wichita. And if you're thinking about buying, selling, or building around here, I'd love to help. Just reach out anytime using my info in the description below. That's all I got for this time. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.